Got it?
There we go.
Thank you, Carla. So that does mean be careful what you say. What do we got here? What have people done? Oh, got a rescue dog and you lost some pounds, lost 27 pounds. Got a dog, got a corgi, the Queen's dog, not the Queen of Soul, Queen of England.
I love
Cool.
Christina says she's given herself more grace.
That's cool. Someone went ahead and got a master's degree, spending more time with family.
Surfing.
Running, getting to know your neighbors. So there's some community building. Learn to, yes, I bought an air fryer too, bless your soul. And I haven't burned anything up. Learn to preserve food through pressure canning and water bath. Okay, y'all scaring me. Wow, everybody's got an air fryer, it seems like. Juicing. We got quite a few things that people have done in a way to insulate yourself from the impact of this pandemic, to find some grace, some grit, some ways to cope with things. Give you another 20 seconds. Somebody's confusing me messing with the slides, but I'm gonna move forward. Bike riding, meditation, gardening, walking, ceramics and pottery. Wow, you all got some folks that could contribute to a little auction, yard sale, campus sale. Thank you so much. Let's find out who are the winners for this chat. Remember, we've got some gift cards. So let me see, who hasn't guessed about numbers?
We can have Dennis pick numbers.
Okay, our incoming chair. Dennis, pick a number between 1 and 50?
45.
So we got 1 for 45. Aaron, you rolling?
Pass that on to another CPDC member. I have a full screen
Okay,
of your PowerPoint.
I'm
so,
checking.
Cool.
Number 40. 5. Ooh, what a number. You found it, Carla?
Almost.
You should do smaller numbers.
How many number? What's the number?
45.
I think 45.
Too high. We had pick a number between 1 and 31.
Adopted a cat.
Dennis, a number between 1 and 31.
30.
30. Thank you so
Wing
much.
Song is our winner.
Who's our winner?
I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. Wing Song. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Great. Thank you. We'll move on. We've got about 31 people. We're going to just move on from this chat. If Aaron, you could move forward to a slide that looks like it has some goodies on it. One more. All right. So I just want to share a few ideas. And again, you're going to get a chance to jump in with some additional contributions in the chat. One of the things that will be helpful as you step into this new academic year, fall of 2021, is indeed to find your sweet spot. And I'm sure some people will say, from a nutritional standpoint, I should be encouraging you with tofu and something else. But we're going to do it. Yes. Someone just noticed what I noticed and chose to keep. And this is somebody who must do crossword puzzles or work in Scrabble. You need to find, I think, some connection. And people have talked about how they've connected with other people. It is important to take some time to reflect on what's good, to find some grace and gratitude, to even consider things that you can let go of, and perhaps move forward in a positive state of mind or frame of mind, and take some action that supports you. Action to make sure all is well. That means even checking your health, making sure you're feeling up to par, not ignoring signals and signs from your body, but also taking action, as some of you talked about, running, going to the beach, walking, those kinds of things. And do some things that protect you. And that actually includes, based on what we've talked about so far, knowing where your resources are, knowing what to do if you need to find help, knowing what to do if you have an issue that you need to resolve and it's beyond just your realm of influence to take care of. And as someone noted in the chat, the acronym for what I have here is CRAP. I know what I put up here. And what I will suggest to you is that if you try these things that I have here, connecting, reflecting, taking action, protection, it might help you to counter CRAP. You do need to find your sweet spot. And what I would suggest to you, if all else fails, to remember that stress spelled backwards is dessert. Booyah. Next slide. I was reminded as I thought about this of a quote from a profound poet, a LA native who came up with this in 1992. You want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. O'Shea Jackson Sr. is otherwise known as Ice Cube. The point of this that I hope you can take away is that one of the other ways for you to get on the good foot and to get that pep in your step as you step into this, it's wreck. I may have misspelled it. Thank you, Issa. See, spell check is what I'm supposed to be doing too. Make sure you check your inner buttons. And by buttons, what I mean is it's always good to take a moment in terms of reflection and understand who you are, what your values are, the attitude that you might have about things, and all of those things can change, can evolve, can be modified. And what's also true is that in the moment, in a present exchange at work, through emails, Zoom meetings, things can be said or done that might push your buttons. And one way to keep yourself safe to deal with the crap is to be aware of what those buttons are. So I want to encourage you to take the time to, again, ask yourself how you feel about things. Be prepared for the moments when someone might step on your toes, figuratively. And it's also important to understand how we perceive things, and that the things that we see and how we see them is informed by our experiences, who we are, indeed that intersectional aspect of us that's a combination of multiple dimensions of humanness, from gender to appearance to preferences to history to culture to language, and all those things inform our perceptions. There are two things that can be thought about when we look at this. One is that perceptions sometimes become reality, but that reality could also times be in error. And so it's always important to remember how you might perceive things. And in fact, sometimes that there's more to the picture than meets your eye. And another thing that can help, I believe, to get you started is to also understand and appreciate that we make assumptions, and we do that at work, we do that at home, we do that in our community. Sometimes those assumptions will be in error. We know what it means about what it can do and what it can make me and you. And it's important to consider those, to think about them, to check them sometimes, and perhaps even consider how all of those things, your buttons, your perceptions, your assumptions, can lead you to a knee-jerk reaction. In fact, one of the things that no doubt has come to mind for many of you is that in this period of Zooms and PowerPoint and communicating with people electronically, someone might push your button. You have a perception of that message. You might make an assumption that their intention is ill-formed, is meant to hurt, and you get on your computer and you get that keyboard going and send out a message that you wish you could bring back. I've done it. I suspect there's some of you who have done it as well. So I want you to keep that in mind, if you will, as you start this new year. Erin, if you could hit the next one. So here's your next chat question. I'm not sure how many people are in the room, but I think many of you, again, have wisdom. There's something that you've learned to do that's a technique that helps you navigate in the workplace. You will get an opportunity to receive another gift card. So let's take 3-4 minutes and share with the folks that are here with this session, what have you done that actually works? And when I say effectively, it means that you dealt with the situation, you moved through it, you walked away sort of feeling like, all right, this is how we do it. Please let us know what has worked for you. Someone says remove themselves, become silent, breathing. Perfect. Perfect. What am I doing? And asking, is it right? Excellent idea. Get that feedback. Feedback can be helpful. Getting some sun. Ooh. Folks take a breath. They go to the restroom. And you're probably not in there by yourself. Meditation. Okay, learning to take more accountability and responsibility. Thank you, J.R. Stevenson. And powerful quotes. Cold plunges in the beach. All right. Okay, working from home. Laughter, yes. Music, yes. Deep breathing, yes. One of the members of our CPDC group talked about setting boundaries and trying to implement that and share that at work. Having empathy. Fantastic ideas. These are the things that make a difference. Remembering that everything is recorded these days. Yep. Very important. Be informative. Thank you so much for that. And we've got, it looks like, how many folks, Carla, do we have here?
Uh,
I want to guess a number. I'm going to guess this time.
it looks like about 27 because I just got a new message.
Okay, so in a number between 1 and 27, I will pick 5.
Okay.
Who might that be?
Congrats, Aaron. I'll put it in the chat.
All right, thank you so much. Erin, can we move to the next slide? Thank you. Please take a look at this and breathe it in. This is a way that I hope if you can take this in and kind of think about it, chew on it, if you will. Consider it when you walk away from this session. Consider it as you think about your relationships with other people, people in your personal life, people in your workplace. It really, many people will say, is a powerful reminder about how important it is for us to think about what we're saying, consider the impact, figure out how to make positive intentions be received in a positive way. Because not only are you all walking around remembering things that have happened to you, there are people that you engage across the board, 360, who are remembering how you may have left them feel. And we can take responsibility for our feelings, and other people need to think about, I would encourage everyone to think about how you impact other people's feelings, because engagement at work is not separate from how you feel about the workplace, your colleagues, the job. So I just hope that this might be a bit of inspiration to you as I move to the next slide and see if we can make some other kind of connections here, connect the dots. So Aaron, if you would push through to the next one. There's a commercial, far too much television I've been watching for Progressive, where Flo is in someone's living room and trying to work some things through. And then the lady asks, well, what's next? Because usually the Progressive commercials, an elephant or a camel walks in or something happens. And they'd invited a group in at the end of the commercial to talk to this customer. It wasn't the right time. And the person said to the folks that were joining them, read the room. My point is you've got to, as you engage with other folks, I want to encourage you to think about this. Observe the situation. Read who's in the room. Remember that. Think about that. Their role may be important, whatever it is. Their impact on what the work is that you're doing. You may depend on them. They may depend on you. They may be of a different position. So when it comes to looking at the situations in the workplace, and this also applies to home and the community, remember to think about who's there. Of course, you also want to keep in mind these two things here are important. So that sometimes what you really need to do is use less of this and use these twice as much, because you can learn so much that can protect you, that can even give you a sign that some CRAP might be coming, or there might be some in the room, by listening to what people are saying. And yes, someone, Miss Green, Kanisha said, is active listening. Absolutely, it's very important. And the last thing that I would suggest to you is to use these as well. There's a reason there are 2 ears, 2 eyes, and only 1 mouth, because this stuff can do so much work for you. These things here, they can do so much to keep you safe and to get you ready. And in fact, help you stay ready. And if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Yogi Berra said that you can observe a lot by watching. Yes, he's absolutely right. So you want to pay attention to nonverbals. You do want to kind of check out a person's facial expressions, what their eyes are, what might be the tone of voice. Now, admittedly, when you do that, this is an important thing to think about. And that is, you may pay attention to that, and you may have an interpretation about where you think someone is at and what they're thinking. And you could be backwards wrong. That's my grandma's thing. That means that sometimes even when we pay attention to nonverbals, we may interpret them erroneously, which is why someone put in the chat, ask for feedback, share your impressions. You sometimes have to check those interpretations in order to make sure you are correct. We know the stories about people who use their voices to express themselves, and the interpretation is that they're angry people. So we have to think about that. Next slide. Aaron, you there? So what I've tried to do in a real quick moment, because I want to give you all an opportunity also to weigh in, is try to talk a little bit about self-care, because that absolutely is important. That's insulation for you. It's protective armor for you. It is what helps you get ready and stay ready. And I've tried to also suggest some things that might be helpful as we start the year, as you start the year. And I say we, because I'm in here with you and I will be here, is to ask yourself those questions about what pushes your buttons. And also to think about the situations that you're in. What are the things that are important? In fact, let me just see. In terms of observation, if I were to ask you what you may have observed in looking at me about what my favorite color is, what might that be? Whoa, bam, y'all got it. Absolutely. My car is red. My accessories are red. Sometimes the stuff that's at the top of my head is red. It didn't take much for you to figure that out. Those things are obvious. Observations and watching on a regular basis require that attention and that intentionality. And if I could encourage you a little bit more, it would be simply to be mindful of those things. We've all heard about mindfulness. I think there's a session for the academic side this evening or this afternoon that Susan Fila is doing on mindfulness. There's a lot they should be mindful of, but that's for another discussion. Think about this for you all as classified professionals. I'd like to move to the next slide, if we could. So here's the last chat. We still have a gift card or two. This is where you get an opportunity to tell the CPDC what was helpful about the session today or the session that preceded it. So they can learn what you thought was interesting, what might have been informative. So there's something that you took away from this that might be helpful. I'm gonna open up the chat for that. And they're going to be paying attention to that as well.
Bring it. I'm ready.
Yes, self-reflection. I'm glad you said that. Thank you. Other things that were helpful. All right, transparency. Self-care is critical. Thank you. More. The suggestions. Uh-oh, somebody became a hermit. I hope you're good with that. Okay. Thank you so much. Somebody said they liked everything I said. Oh my goodness.
You have a new fan, Dr. Gunn.
One more fan. Any other things that you want to share with CPDC? We're going to have some time for you to ask a few more questions and share. Anyone on the phone? Carla, do you know?
I'm checking right now the participants. I'm looking for hands too. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah, you got it. I have a hand up. I'm looking.
Thank you.
It's Beverly. Beverly, if you want to
Yes.
unmute
Oh,
yourself.
Beverly, sorry.
Go ahead, please.
Well, I just kind of had a question as far as for the committee. Due to the fact that we're dealing with a recall, with the governor and stuff, if we get another person in that office, as far as our protocols and guidelines, would we still be following the CDC guidelines? Or if that person were to put out other guidelines, the way some school districts have had to just say, okay, we're going to do it this way with the mask and everything. How would the school go as far as proceed if we did get a new governor that had different views on masking and things like that?
Good question. And I'm not sure, maybe Dennis might be able to answer it, because my guess is they're following CDC, but you all probably have a better understanding of what is the motivation or driving force for SMC's decision.
Yeah, I'll just jump in really quick. It'll be at the EOT. Our emergency operations team monitors the situation very closely. And regardless as to who's in the seat, they make the decisions based off the Department of Public Health and CDC and things like that. So I think it'll come from our EOT team.
Okay.
Thank you for the question. Is there anyone else on the phone that might have a question or a comment? So we're doing pretty good for time. We do have an opportunity again to provide one more gift card, maybe two. And I just want to see if there's anything else that you'd like to suggest to CPDC leadership, to Mr. Biddle, who's going to be moving into the chair position. What else do you think it's important for them to know about today, or what you'd like to see CPDC do moving forward?
I think we're already on the right track. I think we came in at the first session and we were open and honest. And then we were taking feedback and we let you guys know how easily accessible we are, how you can get to us. And we've already started to receive so many different emails. And no matter who in the committee that you guys reach, you can definitely, we'll all get together and kind of review it. So I see some of the things coming through.
Yeah, one thing is about how do you build that pathway or interface between, I think it was managers and faculty and managers. Do any of you have some ideas about what you'd like to see happen that might be better or improve the relationship between these segments of the campus?
I know that one of the things that we were talking about, and this was something that we brought up with CSCA, is having our own classified association. So just like faculty have their classified association, which is very present at the board meetings, is starting to have. So we are having conversations with other community colleges that have classified associations to see how to start and the steps on how to move forward.
Yeah, the classified senate, you mean?
I'm sorry, classified senate.
And so I see something here from Thomas Carter. We had one. And I'm trying to remember, and I've been involved with the campus since 1985, so I may have forgotten that. It certainly seems as though go ahead, someone was on.
Apparently there was one at some point, and there was an issue with someone, the president of the union at the time, who decided to not have it anymore. And so they just canceled it completely. But I think it would really be a very good idea to reinstate that classified senate that could work very closely with the union and supporting the classified. I think it gives an extra voice, but also extra support to the classified, an extra seriousness to our requests and our needs and all of that. So I think it would be a brilliant idea to get that back at some point.
Well, you know what, and I've seen a couple of things. I think it's Dr. Carter wrote that Mount SAC had one. So one idea might be to try to explore where it exists now or where it existed in the past and see what the concept, the model, and what's even more important, in my view, as a person coming from community organizing standpoint, is how will you get this organized? I wouldn't say it's an uphill battle.
No, it's not, because we have spoken with our CSCA, and they're very supportive of doing that. So it's less of an uphill battle than if we had to fight that portion. I know that we have a CSEA president that's very supportive of the idea, so that makes it a whole lot easier. And I have had some conversations with the faculty lead, the faculty association, the faculty senate president and the faculty union president, and they're working together and they make it work. There is no reason for us not to be able to do the same.
Thank you so much, Fariba. And again, Deion Carter was writing something about the budget, and that is really critical. You know, the fact of the matter is, for organizational change, particularly around diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is a lot of what these comments are spinning around, the degree to which you are and aren't included in the planning for professional development, the allowance for participation in professional development, are significant steps that have to be taken in order to get to the place where there is that equity across the campus. So I'm sure there's going to be some strategizing, and it's really good that you kind of know at this point where your allies are and where there is the need to build more alliances. If I could speak as a former faculty member, I really do believe that there needs to be some building of bridges where they don't exist now between the academic side and classified professional staff that leads to empathy, something people have mentioned, validation, appreciation, mutual respect, because those areas are challenged depending on who you're talking to and how they see things and their perceptions. Let's see what else we've got in the chat. Any other ideas? Leadership, not membership. I'm not sure. Okay, here's later. The union membership changed and they were very against it. So we got a little bit of history as well. And so we know the history. And in fact, what you can do is not repeat it and figure out how to move beyond it.
Yeah, I don't think we're here to compete with the union. We're here to come together because we're all classified staff. So we want to, do something that's going to benefit everyone as classified professionals.
Thank you, Carla. So Carla, while you're on and you're unmuted, is there anything you would ask of the members that are here in this session that you would like to know that would be helpful for the CPDC?
I just think open communication, and if you guys have any ideas at any point in time, just send them our way. We're here to help one another because we need to take care of each other. So we try to do things that we feel would benefit all of us as a classified unit, not just some in particular. We're trying to reach all classified, not just some.
Thank you. Erin, if you can move the slide, I think we're moving towards the last part where I want to be able to, did we do the raffle for the last chat?
No.
Okay, so let's do that now. Thank you for, I'm glad I remember. Looks like, not sure how many folks we have.
I'm trying to look for the starting point for the question. So bear with me for just a moment.
Sure.
While Carla's looking and counting, I did want to add that we are also, as CPDC, having conversations with the Managers Association to talk about, the struggles that we have as classified, and then see how we can work that into having the managers see, right, in a different perspective, or someone else coming in, so it's not coming from us, that what the struggles are and how to help us as classified. So we are having those different conversations with them as well.
Great, thank you, Estella, for that. How you doing, Carla? You found your way?
Almost.
Okay. Looks like more people joined than when we first started, which is great. I want to.
Okay, 31. 31
we
seems
got
to be the magic
31.
number. My favorite number.
Is 31?
Yes.
Well, how about 31 is one number? Who's that?
Maria, congratulations.
We got
That made it
31.
really easy. Yes.
That was easy. Let's pick one more number between 1 and 31. I'm going to do it. In the interest of time, I'm going to say 22.
Okay. That's easy for me. I'll count backwards.
You count backwards. This is the caliber we have at CPDC. Look at that, people.
You said 21, Dr. Gunn?
I thought I said 22. See, you don't mess up
Oh.
my church show.
Okay, sorry. 22, Didi Carter.
Okay. There we go.
Ooh, we go, Didi.
All right.
I don't want to take away from everyone else, though. I really don't.
Well, it's too late. Sorry.
You don't get a choice, Didi. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
actually,
Thank
so
you,
if she
everyone.
doesn't, I'll give you an open and you can pick a number, Didi, if you want to do that.
Okay,
Just
I'll
not
pick a
31.
number. Okay, I will pick 17.
17. Thank you for your support.
Congratulations, Poonam.
All right. So
Hey.
we've got some winners here. Aaron, if you could push it towards to the last, I believe it's the last slide. There we go. All right, so what's next? I will simply say that this has been a pleasure to facilitate this, not as a keynote speaker. As I said, the wisdom in the room sits on the committee and rests with each of you. And I am looking forward to looking at all of what we've learned, because this is kind of a rush for me to really take it in and to continue to collaborate with the leadership of the CPDC. It has been a pleasure working with them. I've gotten to know them well. They've gotten to know me far better than they even expected. And it's been a collaborative thing. And so I'm glad about that. I'd like to give anyone on the committee an opportunity to add any closing remarks that they have about what's next, what you're going to do. You've probably talked about that a bit, but this is a time to kind of do a quick wrap up. Anybody on the committee?
I just want to first thank you for all the work you did for today, Dr. Gunn. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for supporting us. We need those voices, and we are very glad you're here for us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, you're welcome, Joe Metzger. Thank you. Again, Estella, Aaron, Carla, I'm not sure Cyrus has joined us back. Dennis, anything else you'd like to say?
It looks like Cyrus, every time he enters a Zoom room, it cancels all the Zooms. So he's
So
staying
let
away.
him stay back there. We don't know what's going on with my brother, but let him stay. Estella, would you like to add anything?
I want to thank everyone for, for coming, for attending, for their input. We're definitely going to sit down with the committee and review everything that you guys have put in the chat, and we've been taking notes throughout. So we hear you. We're here for you. We're going to do our best and continue pushing. We're going to keep on collaborating with Dr. Gunn. We're going to bring her back later on in the fall semester. So please look out for more information. But if you have any ideas, any suggestions, please reach out to any one of us or our classified email.
And Estella, thank you too, because you're moving on away, and you've been guiding the group as well. So we do need to give some big props to Estella.
Yes.
Yes.
Lots of big props. Yes. She's
Yes.
not going anywhere.
Sister girl worked her magic. Okay.
She's not going anywhere. She's staying on the committee.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
I'm the one who's leaving.
Continuity is important, and we're gonna bring I was gonna say something bad, but we need to bring you back into this.
Well,
But thank you so
we need
much.
to also give a chance to somebody else to give an input in the committee.
I see, I see. Aaron, you want to throw anything in there, brother man?
I think everybody hit it. So just same thing. Thank you for everyone for being here. Thank you to Dr. Gunn. You guys don't know this, this took a long time to even get this workshop. There was a lot of work and collaboration.
Yes.
Thank you again. I reiterate what Stella said. We're here for you guys. So honestly, just reach out to us. Let us know what you need, and also understand that again, the work it's collaborative, right? So we're working with our union, we're working with management, we're working with faculty to make sure that this conversation and this whole thing is cohesive. But also, and I'm not sure if we touched on it too, but these are also conversations that are happening at the chancellor level, right? So these conversations are also happening, and they're really realizing the importance of professional development for all constituents on college campus. So those are conversations we're also included in. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you. In fact, I will say this as we close out is, again, I'm looking forward to continuing to work with the committee and hopefully as well with the sessions that we're going to plan. And just to give you some context, I'm actually working with another community college district for their classified staff. And if this gives you any context and perhaps even helps you to realize you're not alone, many of the issues that have been raised in these last two sessions this morning, today, are the same kinds of issues occurring on other campuses. And, that's interesting. In a way, it might be disheartening, but it also is illuminating that there are sort of system level, institutional level stuff that needs to be dealt with in terms of support, recognition, validation of classified professional staff. It's been my pleasure to be with you today, and I look forward to hooking up with you in the near future. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you,
Be
everyone.
safe. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Enjoy the rest of the workshops this afternoon. Bye.
So
Bye, everyone.
CPDC folks, can you stay on for 5 minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
5 minutes, I have a 2 o'clock. Yes.
Okay, so we got just about 3 or 4. All I want to do,
Let me stop the recording, actually.
yeah, and once everything is clear,